Hello friends, family and followers! We are very excited to introduce you and to announce our new trip, Season 2, Summer-Fall 2023. Actually, we are going to leave at the end of March, so we are covering some spring as well. You are probably dying to know where we are going. I'm going to give you a hint. When we just started RVing in 2022 and we were planning our first trip, we wanted it to be something epic, something big. So we planned a Round America trip.
In the original Round America trip, we wanted to cover 11,000 miles and make around 50 stops during 6 months period. In order to do that, we would have had to move from place to place every 3-4 days and even quicker, and the average distance between stops would have been 300 miles.
But we didn't have any experience. We thought it's going to be okay, but now, after being during 4 months, we know that we would have been exhausted after the first couple of weeks.
After contemplating that experience in 2022, we didn't want to have that experience in 2023.
But lucky for us, our RV delivery was delayed, and instead of 6 months, we had only 3 months to plan, and we planned much smaller loop. But you probably, of course, you know it because you watched all our videos from our season 1. And during this trip, we figured out for ourselves that we are much more comfortable to drive only 170 miles around that or less during between stops, and to make our stops much longer, at least 6 days and better more. However, we do want to do a Round America trip. So how, you probably wonder, we are going to do it with all these new rules, that shorter distance and longer stops. So we decided to do it during 4 seasons. Yes, 4 years. And this summer we are starting our first season of our all around America trip. So during 2023 season, we are starting from Florida, heading up north towards the Great Lakes, traveling around Lakes Michigan and Superior, and then heading west along the northern states of Wisconsin, Minnesota, and North Dakota. And we are leaving our RV in North Dakota for the winter. So the next year, the next season, 2024, we are going to start from North Dakota, moving all the northern states and through Idaho and stopping somewhere in Washington. And then from there, the next season. This is how we are going to do around all America trip. So this is the plan. And we hope it's going to work, because we really wanted to, and we are much more prepared now. We are going to do a lot of things differently. Jeff is going to introduce you to our new improvements.
I'm going to discuss what my responsibilities were for the 2023 motorhome trip that we're taking out up to Lake Michigan and then over west to North Dakota. So we've decided to break this trip up into 3 separate sections. And the first one, we're going to be leaving on March 28th to get our motorhome up to Elkhart, Indiana. Stage 1 of that trip is to get some warranty work done because our warranty on our 2022 DX3 is only 1 year and is up in June. So we will be out on our trip by the time that warranty expires. So we want to get that done. And the good part is we could get it fixed at the manufacturer, know it'll be done right, and we're only a couple hours away from Lake Michigan. So when we come back up to pick up the motorhome, we're pretty close to being right on our trip, just a a half a day maybe.
Actually, after finishing our 2022 trip in October, we brought our RV then for some warranty repair.
Trying to get the warranty work done on our Dynamax DX3 with the original Dynamax warranty was rather difficult. They sent me a list of probably 12 people in the area within 50 miles that were supposedly doing Dynamax warranty work. I called about 8 of them and they all said the same thing. They either didn't do warranty work for Dynamax or it was an 8-month lead time, which means that my 1-year warranty wouldn't even cover it. So we finally found one up in Clearwater and they were very good. They did an excellent job of getting all the work done. We gave them a list and it was all completed. Everything was covered under warranty except for one, and I was very surprised. The bill was like $150 when I picked it up. So I was very happy to see that. We're getting a 5 red 2 green flash on that particular slide. And that means that it's either, what was it, high voltage?
Or like motor failure.
Yeah, or motor.
Rear passenger side leveling jack appears to be leaking fluid. Okay,
Yeah, it's not bad, but I can see the fluid there. The rear side light replaced. Now I can order that from Dynamax, but you'll see it. It's on the side. I backed into something and it broke it. On a full service, do they do, basically it's the filter that you oil, and then they clean out the spark arrestor. Do you know if they do that?
I don't know if they're going to do that or not. Usually it's an oil change unless you want something different, and then I can ask him about that.
Yeah, and you look underneath it. Whatever they put on over the plywood is all torn up, and it's
the underbelly.
The underbelly.
Light control panel near your bathroom sink.
Yeah, there's a four buttons, and the third one over from the left controls the bedroom lights, and it doesn't really function properly.
Kitchen cabinet door. Which door is it?
It's the one under the sink, and it just literally fell apart at the where it was glued. The sink leaks underneath it. When you splash water all over it and you're doing dishes and stuff, it leaks underneath. So I don't think it's the drain. I think it's just
maybe the sink itself isn't sealed properly.
Yeah, I don't think that's sealed properly. Also, another warranty issue we had was getting the Freightliner chassis serviced up in Tampa. They've been very good. They've been very helpful, and they really have very good customer service.
Hello.
So basically what they do is the 6,000 miles is when they want you to do the break-in service. That's the recommendation.
Okay. Is that a long procedure?
Yes. Because it's basically what they're going to do is that's when they do the first engine oil change. They do all the services on the fuel system, your front hubs, the rear differential, the rear hubs, the air dryer, anything that basically has fluid in it on the Freightliner chassis side. Yeah. They want to have that changed out because it's during the break. That's why they have it as the break-in service, because anything during assembly, any kind of metal contamination, that's why that's why they want you to. Yeah, they want everything kind of ran for at least a good period of time. Yeah. And they recommended at 6,000 or around there, so you're getting pretty close.
We brought it in for the 5,000 mile initial service, which was very expensive. It was over $4,000. And while we were there, the service light keeps coming on, and the concern is that if you don't address it and it has anything to do with the diesel exhaust system, you're in deep trouble, because as it continues to go, it will eventually get to the point where it will shut down the diesel, so it only goes 5 miles an hour. They did do the service, the 5,000 mile service, which was they did it very effectively and very quickly.
So is that light on now?
Oh yeah.
Is it the solid or is it the?
It's the yellow.
Okay, but does it say check on it, or is it just a solid?
No, it doesn't say check. Check is scary.
Yeah, so this one's just the solid amber. Okay.
It's the solid amber. They did address the service engine light that came on, and they said they look at it to see what might be triggering it to come on, and they said they cleaned out all the error codes, and knock on wood, we've driven it probably another 100 miles with no issues. So hopefully we've resolved that, because we always get scared when we have to go find a Freightliner service center that usually has a 2 or 3 week lead time to see your truck. So all's good for the beginning of April, and we're looking forward to getting on the road. You know, my responsibility for planning these trips is mostly equipment. The Dynamax DX3 Super C, the Bronco, the repairs on the Dynamax, and any upgrades on the Dynamax. And this year, instead of taking the Cadillac on a tow dolly, our 2021 Bronco finally came in, except it's a 2023. We just got it in December of 2022, and we were able to complete, I would say, a vast majority of the modifications that we want. Not all of them, but you know, after going on the trip last year, you know, sometimes you get ahead of yourself and you end up spending money on things you don't use. You end up with too much stuff you can't store. So I'm kind of glad that we had the first trip greatly shortened, both in distance and in time, because it was a great learning curve. We're very excited. 5 months is still a long time, but I think that based on where we're going and how much fun we had while we were on the road, that we'll be fine. The reason why we picked the Bronco, 2 reasons mainly, and the main reason, because we looked at other vehicles first, was so we could flat tow. We really didn't like the tow dolly. It wasn't that bad. The worst part is that we have a mid-size SUV. It was a Cadillac XT5, and it barely fit. So we were ramping it up on, and it didn't fit right, and off and on and off and on. We got better in time, but even at our best, you're looking at 45 minutes, you know, to get it secured. Then you have to climb under and put on the safety straps, and it's just, I'm glad it's gone. So what we're doing now, and this past Monday we went up and dropped the motorhome and the Bronco up at Blue Compass RV in Tampa. And we were very impressed with this dealership, very nice people, and they did a great job installing the flat tow system. The flat tow system includes the Blue Ox trailer arms and the adapters that fit on the Bronco. You guys have restored my faith in RV service centers, as opposed to the one where I bought it up in Michigan. Oh, wow. You couldn't wait to get rid of me.
I enjoyed working on it.
Well, good. I'm glad you
prefer doing this than working on those.
Yeah.
But
well, when I get my next one, I'll bring it back. It may not be anytime soon.
I'll be here.
Wow, thanks so much. I really appreciate it, Tom. You did a great job. I appreciate your patience.
Thank you.
And thank you, sir.
No problem.
Sorry I borrowed them too long. Well, like I said, I'm in charge of equipment. And one of the equipment, I'll just speak briefly about the Bronco. The Bronco got quite a bit of mods that you can see and quite a few mods that you can't see. The ones that you can see is a rooftop tent, a full rack that goes from the tailgate all the way to the front windshield on the top, which is where the rooftop rack sits. How come it took them 1 minute and we're already at 30? Huh? Why is that, honey? Are we that dumb? Those Koreans must be way smarter than we are.
No, we did it for the first time. Wayne is coming. He wants to go up.
It looks kind of cozy up there, huh?
Yeah, look, maybe too cozy.
Oh, that ladder's nice. Nice ladder.
And it's attached. We're excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yep.
Yeah. A fun year.
Yep. And you'll get to see it documented.
Okay, I'll look for it. See ya.
What else did we buy?
Well, we bought a screen tent. One of the things we learned in our first trip, we were at a beautiful state park and it was right on the ocean, but they had a big rainstorm right before we got there, and they said, oh, the bugs are going to be really bad. And by the second day, I looked like I had measles. Now we have a screen tent, and I'm going to buy another canopy so our campsite will be very congenial, very nice. You know, if it does get buggy, we can go in the bug tent. And I'm very much looking forward to this trip based on what we learned on last trip.
Pretty nice, huh?